Hi, I'm Sky Cubacub, and I'm the creator of Rebirth Garments, a clothing line for queer and trans folks with disabilities of all sizes and ages. Today we're going to learn how to make a beard mask, which is great for people who have beards, but also great for folks with tracheostomies or folks who don't have arms or have very short arms and can't put a mask on with their hands and have to put a mask on either putting it on a bed or a hook and then like wiggling your head in. Go to bit.ly/beardmask for the pattern and the written tutorial of the beard mask that we'll be using and making today. This is Radical Fit, an 8-month fashion-based program series that embraces craft, making, and DIY while providing a safe space routines to discuss gender equity and to dream and create through personal expressions of style. The initiative is funded through Project Next Generation, an education technology initiative of the Illinois Secretary of State and State Librarian Jesse White. Before making the beard mask, I would highly recommend checking out the basic hand-sewn cotton mask with the pocket for the filter tutorial that is on the Radical Fit playlist. And all of this was made using the materials from these free take-and-make kits from Chicago Public Library. I'm going to use the muslin from the take-and-make kits that is left over from before as the lining, and I'm going to use a different color, a little light blue, for the outside. I'll also be using some of the fusible interfacing that is left over from the take-and-make kits. You'll need scissors, a pen or pencil, some pins. Optionally, if you can, you'll also need an iron and something to iron with, and a sewing machine. But also you can do all of this hand sewn and you don't have to necessarily use the iron. If you can pre-wash and then iron your woven fabrics, that would be amazing. You want to usually try to wash any fabrics that you're using beforehand, but do not wash the fusible interfacing because then the glue will get messed up. You're going to want to pay attention to where the grain line is, and that just means like that this line, which is the grain line, needs to line up either with the warp or the weft. So the fabric is made in a little grid. You have like the one side, the warp or the weft, and you just want it to be parallel to one of those instead of like being sideways. So yeah, I'm just going to take a pencil and trace this here, and it's great to use a weight. I'm using this tape dispenser, but you can use your phone, and just trace here, trace these notches, trace the whole thing with the dart and everything all the way around. And you're going to do that for this, but also for whatever your outside fabric is, and then also your fusible interfacing. When you're cutting out your pattern, you don't have to cut the notches. You just want those to be marked so that you know where to pleat the fabric. You're going to take the interfacing with the soft side down and the rough side, which is the glue side, up. And you're going to put your fabric that you want as your outer fabric placed on top of this. You're just going to press it so that you can activate the glue and the fusible interfacing and get it to attach to your cotton layer. As long as it's not flopping around, it's fine. Fold these in half so that the interfacing is on the outside. And you're going to fold this one in half, and you're going to just sew this little dart at half an inch on both sides. Like in the other tutorials, if you need to draw a guide with pencil in order to show where your stitching line needs to go, that is totally fine. So on the beard mask that I have given you all, everything has a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So all of your seams, you're going to lift the foot up. You're going to put wherever your fabric needs to be. You're going to line it up so that the needle will hit right where your little line is. You're going to put the foot down, and you're going to make it so that the needle goes into the fabric, and that just makes it so that it's easier to deal with. And then you're going to start sewing, but then you're going to use the back stitch pretty soon. Now you're going to lift the foot up, lift your needle up, and cut. So do that on both sides. The pocket's going to be on the right side of my face. So when I look at the fabric that'll be on the outside, this will be the side that has the pocket, and then this will be on the inside, so then this will be the side with the pocket. So yeah, if you're a right-handed person, when you look at it, when you look at the good outside fabric, it'll be the left side. And when you look at the lining fabric, it'll be the right side. You're going to take these notches and you're going to extend them at least a little bit over 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to draw these in because we're going to just straight up sew both of these at 1/2 inch, and then we're going to put the pleats in after because I don't want y'all to get too confused. You can either use the iron and press it at 1/2 inch, or you can just sew it. You'll sew it at like 1/4 inch because you have folded it over at 1/2 inch. You're going to pleat this, and we want the pleats to be making it so that there's a little, it's kind of making a little pocket going downwards rather than making a pocket going upwards, because this one I feel like holds more germs. So if you look at these notches and you're going to line them up like that, fold the top up like that in the middle, and then you're going to pin that. And then now you're going to take the other set of notches, line those up, and then you're going to squish that there, and then going to pin that there. You're just going to top stitch, just go right over that same stitch line that you just did. So now you have your little pleats done for the pocket side, and you're going to do that on the lining now also. Now we have both sides sewn, and with the little pleats, you're going to take it so that the right sides are smushed together, and you're going to line up these darts, these nose darts, and pin it. You want to do it so that one of the seam allowance bits goes this way and then the other goes that way, because if you try to sew it like this, then first of all that'll be that's 6 layers of fabric your machine has to go through, but also then when you're sewing, usually this will try to slide. So if you try to put your seam allowances to each side, then it'll kind of make it more likely that your seams will line up. And then you're going to pin it to line up. This is a little bit tricky because it is a curved line, but that'll be okay. There's these little extra seams here that you can just trim off. When sewing curves, you're going to just try to always guide the side, instead of like thinking of it in a way that's like more complicated of having to like, I don't know, like follow the line. I mean, you can draw a little stitch line to help you, but I always just try to line it up against one of these lines that are on the sewing machine. So like I'm going to just always try to get the fabric to line up with this side of the foot. So yeah, instead of trying to think of like, oh, is my needle going where it's supposed to be, I just pay attention to this side of the fabric. Just stitch along these 2 bottom sides. So you can pin it. I just drew little guidelines just at the tip because most of it is just, I mean, the rest of it is just straight, so it'll be easy. So we're going to start from this side. So when you're starting to get close to that point, you're going to slow it down And if you need to, you can use just the hand crank to get it so that you'll be definitely at that point. And once you're at the exact point, you're going to leave your needle down there, lift this up, twist, and then you're just going to sew the rest of it like it's a normal straight line, and you never even had to do anything like a little corner. When it's a point, it's going to get all crinkled up in there when it's turned right side out. So what you're going to do is just cut off some of it. You don't have to cut it all the way to the point, because then it'll be too close, but if you just cut off this, and then you can kind of check and see like, oh, will this angle work like when it's inside? And yeah, it'll work. Now that you've sewn around these 3 edges, you are going to turn it inside out through either of the sides, because right now both of the sides are open. There's the one side that's the pocket, and then there's the other side that will be pleated next. And you can use a pencil to turn out points easier. So just jab that into the end to make it more of a pointy point. I would pin down this little part because you're going to top stitch this while you top stitch / pleat the other side. So you have your notches that are going to show where this is going to be pleated, and what you can do is extend those notches so that you'll be able to see them after you fold. And then I'm going to fold this in at a 1/2 inch. If you want, you can top stitch this while it's folded, or you can top stitch it after it's already been pleated. This is just pinned, and I can still see where my pleats are supposed to be, so I have these. And yeah, again, you're going to do it so that the pleat is facing down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to top stitch this top part and this part at the same time. The top stitching can be at like a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to probably do it at 1/8 of an inch because I like how that looks better. Lift, pivot, oops, I made my pleat come out, but it's okay, I just push it back in, and then go. I think I will top stitch all the way around just because it's cute. And it would probably look better if you ironed it, but whatever. So now we have our beard mask almost finished. Now just watch the accessible attachments video taught by Calibordi, and you can decide what kind of attachments you want. I'm just going to throw on some ear loops so that I can model these for you. Check out the rest of the Radical Fit playlist on the YOUMediaChicago YouTube channel. We would love to see the projects you are working on, so use the hashtags CPL Radical Fit, YOUmedia, and YOUmediaChicago, and tag us on Instagram and Twitter at YOUmediaChicago. Or find us on our Facebook, YOUmedia at Chicago Public Library.